Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make this beaded flower right here. And if you've watched a lot of my videos, then you would know that I love to make beaded flowers. I've made them all different sizes. I have used all different sizes, shapes, kinds of beads. And I've made just amazing flowers. And I've done it so many different ways. But this flower here is made very different. Like, I can look back at some of the other flowers that I've made and I see how they're similar to each other. But this one here is really different compared to what I've done all this time. And by the way, I am using beads from Czech Beads exclusive monthly subscription box. And I will have links to all of the beads that I used here individually down there in the description bar, so you can go and get them from the site if you want. Anyways, this one here, well, I'll go back to this one. This one here, all of these are from the box. The only thing that's mine are these 11 Miyuki seed beads. But this one here, I had 10 of these silver lentils that came in the subscription, but I didn't have any more 4mm, and I didn't have a center bead that matched these, so I had to go into my stash. So these beads here in the middle are from my stash, and of course seed beads from my stash. And there was Labrador silver 3mm Czech fire polish beads, but I actually chose not to use them because I want to use them for another project. So I got these out of my stash because I just needed a small amount of them, and so yeah, so that's that there. Now this ring is simple to make. The base, I am using the 3mm Czech fire polish beads, and I always try to stay with what I can that comes in the box so that you guys can make the same piece. But I was kind of wishing that I did use 80 seed beads instead of the 3mm Czech fire polish beads, because when I go to add the band on this and finish the ring off, I wanted to circle around this here, because when you do that it pulls the flower tight, and then the petals, they go staggered on top of each other. It looks really good, but when I went to go tie it off, I could not pass back through these beads here, and it may be because they are color lined, so the holes are filled a little bit and it's harder to pass through. But yeah, I kind of wish that I tried 80 seed beads. So if you have these in your stash already, try using 80 seed beads instead of the 3mm so that you can pass back through this here. And I'll explain later on in the video where that part was, because I could not go back through it to tie knots, and I had to go around it and think of another way to finish this ring. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here is the list of materials you will need to make this ring. You will need to cut 3 feet of 8-pound fire line, and actually I cut just a couple inches extra to be safe because it was like, I think 4 inches long on each side, so cut like 2 or 3 more inches extra. And plus I did have to trim my end a little bit because I had a hard time passing back through the beads. Like I said, it was making my end all out of shape, so I added a little bit more. So 3 feet plus a little extra thread. And you're also going to need a 10mm Czech fire polish bead, 14 4mm fire polish beads, 10 8mm lentil beads. Now the silver one here, I had 10 to make this in the box, but I only had 6 of these and I think 8 of these, so I'm just doing 5 of each color. It still looks cool though. And you're also going to need 3mm Czech fire polish beads, and like I said earlier, you can do 80 seed beads instead of the 3. I think they might work better. And you're going to need 11 seed beads, and you can use Miyuki, Czech, even Toho maybe. I think they would all work for this ring here. So I colored the ends of my monofilament with a permanent marker, and I would have done nail polish instead, but nail polish does make the monofilament thicker, which makes it harder to pass through the beads if you have tiny holes, so I did the Sharpie marker. So we're going to start by picking up this bead here, and 4 4mm Czech fire polish beads. So there's 4 there. Okay, and then this bead, I crisscross both of my ends through it. Put your ends together so they are even, and bring this down. And then pick up 4 beads again. Okay, crisscross both of my strings through these 4. that. My tail's getting away. There it is. Okay. Okay, so just like this. And then I'm going to take one of my strings and I'm going to pick up a 4 and go through this bead like that. And then I'm going to stop, turn this over, pick up another 4, go through the next bead, filling in this gap. So I have this, and you see how one side sticks out more, so this will be our top side since this side is sticking out more. And now what I have to do is take one of my strings. I think I'm going to take my right one here, and I'm going to pass through these 3 Czech fire polish beads, and I'm going to come out the one that my other tail is Xing out of. Okay, so right here. Try not to pass the next bead. Like that. Okay, pull both of these tight. So it's important that we come out of this bead right here next to the, this one here we added that one there straight across because there was gaps there, but it's important that we come out of this bead, that bead, this one, or this one, these 4 corners here, so that we can add our ring band from here and here, if that makes sense to you. So I'm going to start picking up my petals, and I'm going to go in this direction, and I'm going to come over here, and the hole in my large bead's going this way, so it's going long ways with my fingers. So then I add my ring band to this. Now if you don't come out of here, and if you come out of like this bead up here, when you go around, your center bead will be at an angle. It won't be straight with your finger. And to me, these beads here, Czech fire polish beads, are more of an oval shape. They're not perfectly round. They have an ovalness to them, so it's going to be crooked on your finger. So just make sure that you're coming out of this bead right here. There's that one there that we filled in, the filler bead. Filled the filler bead in there, just to point out to you. And we are right here. So I'm going to be going in this direction, okay? So turning this sideways, see how the bead's coming out more on that side? That's going to be the top, and this is going to be the back of the ring. So I'm going to take this string right here, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead, a lentil, and some lentils do have 2 sides. This one here is the same on each side, but this one is double sided, so I'm going to pick that one up a special way. So I have that there, and then I'm going to pick up 2 Czech fire polished beads, and then a lentil. Okay, so there's one side's matte, and this side has a finish on it. So I want this side to be my top. So I'm going to go through this side because this is upside down. We're working on upside down. And then I'm going to pick up this seed bead and crisscross through these 2 here. Now I have to take this string here on the top and reposition it. So I'm going to push that down. And I'm going to go through this bead. Okay. So I just flipped it over. This is the top, by the way. So you could see the petals. Okay, so when I get all the way around beading here, I'm going to end this on the side, and I can add my ring band here. So again, I'll flip this upside down, and because I have to do 2 different petal colors, I'm going to alternate them. So again, I'm going to pick this lentil up, and then a seed bead, crisscross through these 2, like that. Bring this down, and sometimes you'll find the lentil there, the last one that you did, not this one but the one before it, will always want to flip to the bottom, and you'll have to flip it back up. Okay, now I'm going to reposition through this 4mm And sometimes you might find that you need to use pliers to get through. Like that. See it there? It's already doing it. It's flipping to the back. So push it up. Like that. Okay, upside down again. 2 3mm. This lentil here. A seed bead. Crisscross through these two. Like this. Go through the next 4mm. Okay, flip that lentil up again. Pull this tight. That's what I got so far. Again, I'll flip it over. Okay, so again, I'm going to pick up 2 3mm. I have to change my lentil color again. And then a seed bead. And crisscross through these two. Like that. Pull it tight. Take this string here, go through the next bead, pull it tight, like that. Two threes, a lentil. I want this side here to be the top, so I have to go through the back side because this is upside down. And then a seed bead and crisscross through these two. Okay, so as you can see, it is pretty simple. We're just repeating this all the way around. I might fast forward this, but I don't know. It all just depends on. I always want to make sure that anybody can make this, no matter if this is your first time making something. So I do like to show how to do it repeatedly, because I myself, when I learn to do something through video, when someone shows it just one time, it's not enough, especially when it's something like this. You know, if you show it repeatedly, it's much better. It sticks in your head, and also it's not fun rewinding the video constantly. Okay, so 2 of those there, and then this here, and then seed bead and crisscross through these two. Like that. And then through the next bead. Now I was wondering about these lentils. Okay, I have a bunch of them in my stash. I have the smaller size mostly, though. I have 6mm lentils, so I was wondering if I could use those in this same design. I think they will work, but I might have to decrease my center beads. So first, if you do have 6mm lentils in your stash, what you can do is do the 10mm bead in the center, 4mm around it, and then do, you know, the lentils in place of this 8mm lentil here. But if that doesn't work, if it doesn't lay right, what you can then do is decrease these sizes in the center. So make this an 8mm and do this in 3mm, or even 8 seed beads and see what the ring looks like then. And by the way, the ring will be smaller than this. This is a large ring. It's a pretty big ring. But even though it's so big, it's very comfortable, and that's what's important. I like big rings and small rings, but if it's a big ring and it's not comfortable, I won't wear it. So right there is the front. I want it like this. And a seed bead. Crisscross through these two. Like that. Through this bead. Hold tight. Three Czech fire polish beads, lentil, seed bead, crisscross, take this string, reposition it right here through this bead. And you can do all kinds of things to get through. You can bend this, push it through, you can use pliers. Sometimes I even use a bead awl to pry up an area so I can pass through it. Okay, like that. These colors are so gorgeous together. And then my last lentil here, so those two, lentil, seed bead, crisscross through these two, bring it down like that. Take this string, go through this three, okay, and then turn and go through the seed bead and then out through the lentil like that. Hold tight. Pick up two 3mm beads now. Crisscross through these and bring this down. Oh, look at that. I got one flipped over. I did not notice that. Okay. So flip all the lentils over. Okay, pull it tight. I now have this, and if you look, it's a little messy, okay? I have to go back and I have to make all of these lay over each other like dominoes. Make sure you pull this tight though as you do it. So pull it tight and make sure that they're all going at the same angle, overlapping each other. Like that. Okay, now I'm gonna take, looking at it this way, the hole is right there through my bead. I have to add my band on the side, but I have to go through these two over here so I'm straight across off the side of that bead. So through one, and then through the second, so that both of my strings are coming out of 4 3mm Czech fire polish beads. Okay, this is what I have. Now, I can fix these better if I take my string and I pass through the entire backside. Cinching, pulling up the whole back will make all of the petals sit perfectly. But when I did that and I went to add my ring band, I could not get back through the 3mm beads. So that's why I'm telling you guys to try and use 8/0 seed beads in place of them, because they have much bigger holes. And I do know that these 3mm that I used here are silver lined holes, so their holes are filled. So I'm thinking maybe that's why I had such a hard time. I probably could do it with these here, but maybe that's why those I struggled with going through, because the holes are filled with paint. So I changed it around, and we're going to do it this way. Now I do reinforce the back of this, and I pull it all together once I get my full ring band on. Okay, but for now I can't do that because it blocks my holes. Okay, so let's add the ring band. I can fuss with those petals all day. The ring band is going to be 1 seed bead on each string, 1 4mm on each string, 1 seed bead each side, and then 1 3mm and crisscross through this bead. Like that. Okay, I just did a wide band starting there because this is such a huge ring. I felt like it would have been weird if I didn't have it wide and then go to thin. And then I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. 1, 2, pick up a 3mm and cross through it. Slide it down. I'm going to bring these over. They're just too far away. 2 seed beads each side. Pick up a 3. Cross through this. Two seed beads. A 3. Crisscross through the 3. Like that. Okay. And I'm just going to keep doing this. 2 seed beads on each string. Pick up a 3 and crisscross through the 3. Okay, now I'm going to add the other side on. And by the way, do you want to put this around your finger? Make sure it fits you. You're going to want a little space though for this part here because there was a little gap there. So I have a seed bead, 4mm, seed bead each side. Slide it down. Okay, and again you'll want to wrap this around your finger. Just like this. That's my little pattern there. You'll want to wrap this around your finger and get this side to meet the other side. Pull it snug. Okay, and if it fits, then you're ready to add your band. So I'm going to take and go straight across from here. Straight across. This lintel here marks the center. See that? So I'm going to go through these 2 beads, this one here, and the one beside it, and then these two. Flip this over, go through these two, where my other string is coming out of. Okay, so like that, as you can see. And then I'm going to go through these three. Okay, and pull this tight. And that's what we have. Now we have to do some filling in. So make sure that you have this tight and try it on again. You could try it on, make sure it fits you. It's not going to get much bigger and it's not really going to shrink. It's pretty much going to be the same size. So now what I'm going to do is take my string and I'm going to pass through this seed bead, the 4mm, and through the next seed bead. Okay, so I just got through that 4 there, but I have to move this around if I want to get through that bead. Okay. Pull this tight, pull this side tight, pick up one seed bead. If you stretch this out, you'll see your gaps. So stretching that out, I have to go through these two, pick up a seed bead, go through these two, seed bead, through these two, seed bead, through those two. Okay, now I'm going to stop and go to this side just so you guys can see what it looks like with both sides done. So again, go through this seed bead through the 4, and right there, come out there, come on. Oh. I have to push the beads out. So through there, push those beads out like that, and then you can get through. Okay, and then I have to go through that last seed bead that's beside my 4. So you have to bend it and all kinds of stuff to get through. I'll pull both of those tight again, and then pick up a seed bead. And that's actually like a really weird seed bead, so I'm gonna get one that's a little bit thicker, because that one was so thin it would break on me. Going through there like that, and then another seed bead through the next two, another seed bead through these two, and there we go. That's what it looks like with the sides filled in. So just keep going, filling in your sides, and I will come back and show you how to finish this ring off. We will go through the bottom and make that tight so that the flower looks better with the petals. So just keep going, filling in your ring band. Okay, so I filled in both sides, and now I'm going to take and turn this, and I'm going to go through my Czech fire polish beads right here. So I'm connecting the ring band to two different places right here, like this. This is going to pull the flower better together. As you can see, it's sitting funny. And I did find that when I reinforced the bottom I talked about earlier, made that very tight, and then I add my ring band, I found that the ring looked better, but like I said, I didn't have enough spaces in these holds. So to make the ring band go on to this is just the other alternative that I had to do. So I'm going to go through all of these here Czech fire polish beads, just sewing through all of them on the side, and then I'm going to sew back into my ring band and tie knots there, which I'm not crazy about. I would have rather tied knots here, which I guess I could have done, now that I think about it. So after going through this bead, I could have tied a knot there, couldn't I? Yeah, so you know what, I'm going to back out. So I have my bead all here, and the farthest back I can go, I guess I can go there, go like that, pull that out, go through here, that one bead. I'll do the same thing on this side. And the reason why these are all still movable is because the bottom is not stable right now. So when I get the bottom stable, that's when these stay in position. Okay, so let's see. Pull this tight. Take my string. I think this is a good idea to tie it like this, because it's too hard to tie in those seed beads. So making a loop, passing through here twice, there's twice, okay. Right here is loose, so I'm pulling that loop so that tightens up, and then pulling that knot down. And I'm pulling the knot back in this direction, because if I don't, there won't be a space here for me to go through this bead. So then once I get through this bead, I could then pull this tight and it all comes together like that. And I'm going to go through this bead here again, just the one. Okay, again, make another knot, do the loop twice, pull that down, and then go back and through this bead. Let's see how this is doing, because this is the first time I'm doing this. I did it a different way. Alright, it looks okay. I do have a little bit of gap there. I could not help it. It just happened. But I think I'm gonna do this again, because last time I could only tie 2 knots in this ring, and that was right here. I tied knots before this bead and that bead, and then I went through there, but I felt like I really couldn't tie knots in the ring band because I'm using 10-pound fire line, and the knots just seemed so big that I could not hide them for some reason. I don't normally have this problem, but I was having it this time. Okay, so again, through the loop twice. Bring this down, right there, through this 3mm, through this seed bead, going into the ring band, just the seed bead, because we're going to tie a knot in front of that 4mm. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, pull that tight. I do have a little bit of a gap there, don't I? That's gonna drive me bonkers. But you know, I could redo it. I redo stuff all the time, so it really is no big deal. It is a bummer when I have to redo something, but I just do it so much that it's like I should be numb to it by now, really. Okay, it's looking good though. I don't think it looks bad. So I'm right here, and now what I'm going to do is tie a knot in front of the 4mm, go through that bead, and then sew through these beads. I'm not going to tie any knots in here because it just feels too tight. And now I have to go to this string and do the same thing. Go through here. Okay, tie knots. Through the loop twice. And I really did try my best to pull that tight right there. So I pulled this tight, okay, and then I slid that knot down. Let's see. Oh, that one went better. Maybe because now I have practice. And then through this bead. Okay, through the next one. And tie another knot there, and then sew through those two, tie another knot there, and then come down through that seed bead, tie a knot here, and go down through that 4mm, and then through these seed beads. You can go all the way around if you want. You don't have to though, because we had tied knots here. You can go down maybe like that far, trim it off, it's up to you, and you'll be all done. And there you go, you got your ring. And I still feel like I gotta fidget with my petals. This one's sitting just right with the petals overlapping, but this one I'm gonna have to go and fidget with it and get it just right. I might have to flip them the other direction. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're overlapping in the wrong direction. That might help. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and remember, I will have links to the beads that I use to make these rings down there below in the description bar. So please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, make sure that you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and check me out on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.